Hi, first grade. Welcome to day 3 of Dot and Dan. Yesterday, we learned that we can use these sentences to practice our sight words and to also throw in different words. Today, I'm going to ask you to do it by yourself. So you're going to say something at the end of the sentence, and you're going to read the sight word with me. First by yourself, then with me. Ready, here we go. Together, I like my cap. How about this one? You try. I like to camp. By yourself. We like to nap. By yourself. She likes to go to the store. By yourself. She likes caps. By yourself. We like camping. By yourself. I like running. What do you like doing? Yesterday we also found out that two words can come together to make these kinds of words called contractions. Can't, I'm, it's, your. So we go like this. Can and not, that makes can't. I and am, that makes I'm. It and is, that makes it's. You and are, that makes your. Let's look at a retell of this story, thinking about all the different things that happened. First, next, then, finally. When we do a retell of a story, we have to make sure that we are saying the most important details. If you're saying a whole bunch of extra details, or you're talking for a really long time, then that means that you're not pulling out the most important things that happened. Give it a try by yourself, then we'll do it together. Would you pause? I don't know. Here we go. First, Dot wanted to go for a walk. Next, Dan took a nap, and Dot pulled on his backpack. Then he made a terrible mess all over the floor. Finally, Dan woke up and forgave him. Did I miss something important? Did you come across something else in the story that you think you would add? Wow, I love the characters in the story. I think that Dan has some really kind, forgiving attitudes towards Dot. And I wonder what makes me think of that. When I think of Dan, why do I have kind feelings towards him? When I think of Dot, well, what do you think about her? Well, in this story, you can see that if we flick through the pages, we find out that they have a pretty good relationship. And as we go to this page, we see Dan falls asleep. What tells you is happening when Dan is asleep? You can see Dot is getting up to trouble. He makes a big mess all over the floor. So the pictures help us explain what is happening during that time. It says, she likes Dan's cat in the words, but in the pictures it tells a different story, or it tells more information of what's going on. How does Dan feel when he wakes up and finds out what's going on? Dum dum. Now the reason I think that these characters have some really good relationships is because at first you can tell that he's a little bit mad. We infer that from looking at how he's standing. We also infer that she is not feeling too good about what she did. But this is where he shows kindness to her, and he allows her to not be punished for that. So, thinking about that then, what do we know about the two characters? I want you to pause for a second and think to yourself, what do I know about Dan? what do I know about Dot? Here's some things I noticed. Dan is an older man. Dot is a small dog. Dan felt or feels tired. Dot has lots of energy. Here's some things about his character. Dan is very forgiving and kind, and the evidence for that is because he shows that later on in the story. Dot is being very naughty, and the evidence for that is that she pulls all the stuff out of his backpack. And also, he wanted to play, so you can kind of understand why he went a little bit crazy. This leads us to talk about the theme of the story. That's the idea that the author wanted you to have, or maybe wanted to teach you. What do you think the theme of the story could be? I believe the theme is we can show kindness. And my evidence for that is because Dan forgives Dot. What was your idea about what the theme might have been for this story? Okay, it's time for you to go and read Dot and Dan by yourself on the app one more time. Happy reading, first grade.